Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for our Tuesday community chats. I'm Eli Beckman. I'm the mayor. We've also got the assistant manager and assistant town manager and town clerk, Rebecca Vaughn. We've got our planning and building director, Adam Wolf. We've got our fire chief, Ruben Martin. We've got our code enforcement official and communications director, Mike Moriarty. And we've got our public works director, RJ Suko, on the line here to answer any questions that you guys have and just give some little updates. I don't really have too much to say myself other than that I think the big exciting news that we've got to share is that Marin County is now officially in Tier 2. So this is, I honestly don't know when the last time we were able to have, indoor dining open at some capacity was. I think it's been months and months, honestly. And we just went most of the holiday season without even any outdoor dining at all. We recently got that back. And now that, to hear that indoor is going to be able to open again at reduced capacity, I think is pretty exciting. It's big for residents. It's big for quality of life. It's certainly big for workers and business owners. So, I think we're all very excited and hopeful that things seem to be moving in a good direction. Obviously, with what we're hearing about these new variants spreading across the nation, a lot of them more contagious than the original version of COVID. I think we just got to make sure that we don't let our guard down, that we keep wearing those masks and social distancing until the vaccine rollout has completed. That's now underway. Mass vaccinations are happening at the Civic Center, which is fantastic. I just took my dad to get his second dose last week. So we've got, I think it's 65 and up right now, and medical workers. So, it's good to see that this is rolling forward. I'm sure I'll be one of the last folks to get a vaccine here, but just going to hang tight and keep that mask on. I'm going to turn it over to our department heads. And Mike, would you like to start and just give us a little more information about the COVID situation?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I followed up the email you sent me earlier today. I believe that we last were in the red tier and experiencing some level of indoor dining here in Marin County back in December, the first week of December. I believe that last order was December 4th. So it's been, significant time. We've had a lot of holidays. We're into the new year, and just hope that our town can keep our town, our community, our society, our country, our world can keep with the momentum and maintain progress and get back to some level of normalcy. So if you give me a second, I can queue up what the current capacities are. Maybe I could defer to the next department head, but I can give some specific updates, or I can provide a link after the fact to the most current press release about what is open. But in short, the 25% indoor dining at 100%, 100 occupancy. So for every 100, there could be 25 patrons. There's churches and parishioners are able to at a certain degree, but let me circle back on those exact numbers.
Sure thing. All right, we'll come back to you. And I just want to let everybody know we are also joined by Ashley Howe, our Parks and Rec Director. Who else here has any updates for us? All right, Ruben.
Thank you, Mayor Beckman. Just to tack on to the COVID and the vaccine talk, many of you have noticed either through the IJ or local news is a new vaccine site opened up, a drive site, which is at the Larkspur Ferry terminal. The sign up still goes through the same county site, through the county Health and Human Services site. So if you're interested in getting the vaccine, sign up to the site, and then when it's your turn, they will notify you to come make an appointment. So it's good. We're hopefully we opened up on Sunday. Your Central Marin Fire Department is playing a big role in there in providing vaccinators and being the liaison with county public health. So we're hopeful that with that site opening up, we can start having more and more of our population vaccinated, which will allow us to then go ahead and open up our businesses and our community much faster.
That's great. Thank you so much, Ruben. Yeah, Mike.
And just I was able to open up the press release. So earlier today, I forwarded the press release to our two main managers at the two local shopping centers. So they're able to expand indoor shopping capacity to 50%, which is a significant increase. That will eliminate some of the tracking. I mean, right now that they're allocating staff to tracking numbers in and numbers out. some level, a little bit more cushion will make things a little easier for them to operate and perform business closer to a normal capacity. So one thing that's new is gyms and fitness studios. They are able to operate indoor at 10%. That's huge for some of our small business owners in town. We have yoga studios, we have others, and unfortunately they've received a huge hit because we've received a lot of notices and complaints and requests to verify whether there's compliance. And so this is an opportunity for them to have some face-to-face interaction and some some personal training, and some service-oriented businesses are going to be opening, and it's exciting for those who've been put on the back burner since December. So other than that, movie theaters, we don't specifically have one here in town, but our adjacent neighbor in Larkspur, the Lark Theater, they do have, they're at least authorized to occupy at 25%. So those are some of the most current updates. We do have 25% capacity for 100 for cultural ceremonies, including weddings, funerals, etc. So those are the main modifications for the red tier, and I'm very happy to see our community moving in that direction.
That is so exciting. Thanks so much for sharing that. And like you said, this is huge because I think we have certainly have a lot of retail businesses in Corte Madera and a lot of retail workers. And we've been happy to see them be able to open up, earlier on in the pandemic, but it's those service businesses that have been really just clobbered by this thing. And so to see, especially indoor services now being able to open up, business owners get back on the horse and workers get back to work, it's fantastic. And of course, it's great for all the residents who can now go, it's another step towards normal life, which it's a long, slow march, it seems, but we're very glad to be moving forward. Before we open this up to the public for any questions, were there any other department heads who wanted to give any updates or anything like that?
I'll just quickly just make a little bit of an announcement or I guess a pitch for those interested in multifamily housing development in Corte Madera. You're welcome to join us this evening at the Planning Commission, 7 p.m. We're going to be discussing an informational meeting just really about some development standards for new multifamily housing development that we've been working on for a good year plus at this point. And we're excited to sort of talk with the Planning Commission about some new design standards that we hope to will help us talk about multifamily development in Corte Madera as over the next year plus. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, please come attend this evening again on Zoom. You can find the information on our website, but that's an important piece. Also, I know we've continually have given updates on the project Home Key, which we're now calling the Casa Buena, which is the former America's Best Value Inn over on Casa Buena. That actually, as of I believe yesterday or today, Catholic Charities is the operator over at the site. Obviously, for those who don't know, that is 18 units for homeless housing, those formerly homeless, and services provided on site by Catholic Charities. So they will be operating as of today. Some residents are actually starting to move into the site there. So that's just, I want the community to be aware of that. And the working group that that we developed is working closely with Catholic Charities, with town staff, the county, on just ensuring that things go smoothly over there, and that we're just welcoming some of the residents into Corte Madera and trying to integrate that project as best we can into the community, and likewise creating opportunities for residents there to be integrated into the town itself. So that's all I have. And I think RJ, you were gonna mention some of the CAP information. So yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, first off, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Wanted to just give an announcement that we have a bicycle pedestrian advisory committee meeting this Thursday, I believe at 6 p.m. through Zoom. We have details I can throw in the chat, or you can find on our webpage under BPAC. Got a handful of fun projects we'll be talking about, some that will be going this summer. So if you have an interest in any of those, we're doing some sidewalk widening on Paradise Drive across from Nugget Market, some other future projects down the line in the Granada Park area. So those are some that we'll be discussing amongst others, along with our kind of overall upcoming CIP. And then one of the other things that we've been pretty busy with, us and our project team of consultants, is really diving into the comments received on the draft climate adaptation plan. And it may seem simple at times, but it's actually kind of a long process and a lot of effort. First we got to analyze the comments in detail. We have to extract the text out of the formatted version of the draft document. We have to distribute that kind of to all of the groups, and you kind of want to do that sequentially so you're not making similar or contrary comments. And we've got our project team, our town staff, our legal review team, and then we have to fold that back into the formatted version. We do plan to put that out to public for an additional round of commentary, and don't know exactly the timing, but sometime mid-March, end of March, most likely for that, and probably a 10 to 2 week additional comment period. And then we'll see what comes back and we'll go from there. But that's the update on the cap as of now.
That's great, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, Rebecca, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Beckman. Just quickly, I wanted to take this opportunity in case there was anyone who wasn't aware. At the February 16th Town Council meeting, Vice Mayor Kuhnhart announced his intent to resign from the Town Council and relocate his family to the East Coast. And then Council directed staff to open a recruitment process to fill that impending vacancy. And we did that the next day, February 17th. And in case there's anyone on this call who has an interest in jumping in and helping run the town of Corte Madera as a member of the Town Council, if you go to the town's website, townofcortemadera.org, you'll see the first thing under Newsflash is Make a Difference in Corte Madera, join the Town Council. Applications will be accepted through the end of the day on March 1st. The application and more information is available on the town's website, and you can reach out to me if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. And I will just point out on that front, for the last 2 years, the Corte Madera Town Council has been 100% men, which is, surprise, surprise, not reflective of our town. So hint to any candidates, especially any of the fantastic, talented women in our community who might be interested in running and serving on the council. We would certainly love to get some more representation on our council. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and open this up to public comment now. So we got a good number of residents on the line. Thank you all for joining us. Go ahead and just throw up your hand on Zoom if you have any questions to ask or any topics that you want to talk about, any comments to raise. We're going to start here with Susie, and then we're going to go to Karen.
Hi there, everybody. Nice to see you. I think everybody's in a good mood. If you haven't gotten your vaccines, your parents have. I have. Yay! Everybody's feeling pretty good. My question has to do with us moving into the red tier. And is she gone? But
looks like she's still here. She's got her camera off, but she is.
So one of the questions I have is, how is that going to affect the community center and the use of the community center? And we've got, besides all the wonderful things that she has scheduled, we also have the Women's Club and the Lions Club and all that stuff. Oh, she's on the phone. And that's okay. She could answer this question later if she's off the phone.
Sure thing.
So there's that. And also, I don't know, and Mike might know this, as far as group gatherings, what are they encouraging things differently? Can we, get a few like the Women's Club people together in the park? And I mean, we still all are very aware that we distance and that we mask. So even though many of us, and many of the Women's Club women are sort of the older group, and many of them will have been vaccinated too. So just kind of those questions in general. Later when you have time is fine.
Well, I can try to answer at least the social gatherings. I haven't received any specific updates on bubbles and the amount of people permitted in a certain area. I will tell you that I'm the first person to receive a complaint about large events, and they are significantly down. I know the police department was dealing with large groups like soccer players with exerting physical activity in proximity to one another, and they deal with those as they pop up. But I will tell you that I believe our society in a whole has reflected upon what's transpired in the last year, and we're all taking social distancing, mask wearing, and all the safety precautions, wearing PPE very seriously. We've seen, us progress through the tiers of recovery and degress. And so what I will tell you that I believe that our society and our community is responsible. I walk the malls, I walk the town, I'm watching people regularly, and I can't tell you what the specific advisement is from public health, because I don't believe that there is an advisement. And Rebecca, I don't know if you can find something, or if you have information immediately accessible, but I'll have to circle back with you if and it may require talking to Department of Public Health and see if there's a more recent advisement.
Right.
So yes.
I think we all have, we all know what to do in general, but I think in thinking of getting together with an official group like the Lions or like the Women's Club, then we want to be pretty extreme. We want to watch the protocol really, really carefully, especially since we're sort of official people. So thank you. We'll keep our eyes out. I hadn't seen anything on that either.
Absolutely. Thank you, Susie. And we can have Ashley weigh in if she's got anything to add when she gets back.
Yeah,
for now, we're going to go on to Karen and then to Amy.
I had a question about the gyms, and do you know if indoor swimming is available? So like Bay Club Marin here in Corte Madera has an indoor swimming pool. Is that facility going to be allowed now?
Mike, do you know that one?
I don't have the answer to that. I can find out. I can inquire with the county and dig deep into their Marin Recovers website to see if that's specified. I do have a contact information for Marin County's PIO, and I can send a message directly. We have probably the answer.
I was just looking on marinrecovers.com, and it says current status, and it says update as of February 24th. So it was updated today. It goes through the examples of gyms and fitness studio type businesses to include. And then after that list, it says, unfortunately, the following businesses / fitness operations are prohibited from operating and should remain closed. Indoor pools. Note, drowning prevention classes, including swim lessons with certified instructors, are permitted indoor and outdoor swimming pools in all tiers as they are deemed essential. So indoor pools with that, with saunas and steam rooms, and the county has
nice job, Rebecca.
Updated.
So unless I could profess that I need this for drowning prevention, no.
But maybe if you really need to get a swim in, you should just enroll in a swimming lesson.
Yeah. But I would highly recommend anyone with any specific questions go to marin.recovers.com, and it looks like they've got all of the information.
But or I could call Bay Club too, but sometimes they're ambiguous. This is a question that you probably can't answer or shouldn't, but can you say if we've gotten applications for the town council position?
We've received several applications and have fielded some calls from some of our residents who are interested in applying and feeling it out. And I feel good about the amount of interest that we've seen in it so far.
And is it viable for the town and or council to prevail on former council members to jump into the gap to fill a position that they would be relatively familiar with?
Yeah, I think anyone can apply.
Yes. Say that again?
Yes.
Anyone can apply.
No, but there hasn't been any effort to approaching those people? I
have not actively recruited formal council members yet, but
All
If
right.
you have any favorite former council members in mind, give them the application.
All of them.
Great. Anything else, Karen?
No, that'll do it.
Okay, thanks a lot. We are gonna, oh wait, we got one in the Q&A here. This is from Cheryl. Oh, she didn't see her unmute button. Cheryl, if you put your hand up, I will unmute you, or I'll hit allow to talk, and then I think you should get a prompt to unmute. But we're gonna go to Amy next, and then it'll be Cheryl after that. Just going in the order they pop up here.
Hi.
Hey.
I have a question regarding sort of major disasters, not necessarily fire, because I'm assuming that's probably going to go to the fire department, Ruben, but do we have, does our town set up an EOC directly for the town, or do we have a contract that works directly through the county? And if so, and who is in charge of that?
Yeah, so our EOC goes directly through the county. We coordinate with them. And right now it is, we work with Woody, is our contact up at the county EOC.
Okay, so we don't set up anything directly in town?
No, and it depends on the extent of the disaster. So if it's something that we can handle locally, we would probably just manage it and mitigate it with the resources we have. However, if it extends our capabilities, then we would activate the EOC. Request for assistance from other agencies.
And on the public works side, we'll staff appropriately for each specific event. So depending on what we're expecting, that could be, you know, one person around the clock up to our whole crew, and as needed, technical professionals as well. So it just kind of depends.
And where would that be? You know, assuming that everything was open and.
You mean in
would you staff to
EOC? So our EOC is up at the county, so it's at 1600 Los Gamos.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. But in terms of our town, if you were going to do something here.
As far as resources to respond to incidents kind of out in the field more so, not so much a hub station.
Oh, okay.
So on the fire side, to mitigate, what traditionally would happen is we would probably end up opening up an expanded operations center, which is usually at the fire station. And that's where we would dictate what our resources would be to be able to handle a local incident.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much, Amy. Great question. We're going to go to Cheryl next, and then Charles.
Okay, good. That worked, Eli.
Great.
I think the last time I joined you guys, I asked about the publicity for the sidewalk program, and I have seen that in several venues, so I really appreciate that. I'm wondering though, there are some really bad situations in Madera Gardens, and I walk that regularly. So I don't want to be the the sidewalk enforcer, but I do want my neighbors to know about this program. I mean, there are places where there's 2 inches, offset and so on. So should I leave it to you guys to, are you going to do any targeted publicity, I guess is the bottom line, to target it to specific locations, or should I just maybe write a little pleasant note to folks or something?
Well, you want to take that, Mike?
Just let me just add. So this came up 2 weeks ago, I believe, where I don't know, Cheryl, if that was you that brought it up, but immediately following that, we published something in the newsletter, and we've done it every week since. We could also put that on Nextdoor and get the entire Corte Madera 7,000 members, talking about it. I did check in with Dimitri last week because I wanted to know, hey, did we have an increase in those who are responding to the sidewalk repair pilot program as a result of the communication that we put out to the community? He said that he had seen an increase, but obviously we were not tracking where the source of that call came from. We can continue to put it out there. One of the plans for our communication plan for this year is a biannual mailer of community issues occurring. we could certainly include that. So that would be somewhat targeted, but it's the entire community. Now, I will tell you that on the climate adaptation plan, we sent out over 2,000 mailers to all community residents and business owners, just old school mailing to each entity. And out of that, we received 100 participants to an event. So we can do all the notifications, we can do all the messaging, but we can't, you know, we can only do so much to get people to engage us. So, and you know, COVID's had its unique challenges for society. I mean, it's just certain things are just not as important to other people at this point, but we're 100% on board and supporting a better walking environment for all of our residents in town. So I will continue to engage the community with Nextdoor, our newsletter, and RJ, perhaps you want to add to that, but
yeah, so good segue. So Cheryl, I know you're on the BPAC. That's one of the items we'll be discussing. We'll be spending a good amount of time on that on Thursday. Just kind of the progress we made, talking about the webpage, the different strategies, but we actually did complete our first sidewalk grinding project in Chapman Park. And we're able to tackle, I think it's like 8 street segments. So that was all in the last month. So, but the reality is, and this is not normal, or this is not abnormal for really probably all jurisdictions in California, is that the backlog of these types of deficiencies are multi-million dollars. So yeah. You want to make progress, but you know, it's not going to happen overnight. And then also, you know, our community code says that it's the fronting property owner's responsibility. So that's why we have this grant program to provide assistance. But these are all great questions and definitely a good avenue to discuss them more on Thursday. And if anyone wants to put a question in the chat about the Zoom link, I'll respond with that. I don't think I'm able to drop a chat on my own.
Okay, thank you guys. A second issue, I happened to listen to a webinar and it was about community engagement. And I think Town Manager Cusimano had mentioned that in the process of deleting some items from the climate adaptation plan, there would be more outreach for the community. So I was impressed with the presenters in this case. And so I'll send that information, I think, to Eli, and maybe it would be of help to the town. I don't know.
That'd be great. Thank you, Cheryl.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so much. We're going to go to Charles next.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello.
This question's for Ashley because she looks distracted.
Mean, very mean.
So yeah, so I've actually had a couple Corte Madera resident families inquire about the status of the application for the 2 grants to do the parkour courses, and I just wanted to know if there had been any update on that. Good, Rebecca can answer that.
Yes, I can actually answer that on behalf of Ashley because I did attend and help staff last night's Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. And the commission provided an update and a presentation on that, and the link should be available. I don't know if it's up yet. If it's not up yet today, it will be up tomorrow for sure. And I can send you the link directly to where that presentation starts in the meeting, and you can share it with whomever asked.
Okay.
But it will be uploaded to the town's website under Watch Town Meeting Video Archives. I'm just checking. Oh, it's up. Okay, no views. It was posted 10 minutes ago. So if you want to drop a question in the chat, like RJ just suggested, I can respond with the direct link to where that presentation starts in the video. And now Ashley can answer any questions about the sports courts.
Apologize, I'm here. Sorry, multitasking multiple phones.
No worries, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, Ashley. I wasn't really trying to get just the timing on that. It was mostly that a lot of residents were really excited about the grant funding that you had applied for the parkour courses, and just to get a status on that because they were asking me. So
great. We'll take checks now.
And I was just saying that the video from last night's Parks and Rec meeting was just posted. So I can drop a link to where that presentation begins in the meeting.
All right, yeah, I'll check it out. And
but if you had a more specific response to his question about the timing of that grant and what they're still exploring, then
yeah, kind of the timeline to anticipate is that we made the presentation to the commission last night to gain support to move forward and to have Todd sign the authorization letter to receive those grants, non-binding. And then we will move forward with the next March 22nd meeting for the commission, and we will be presenting something that has more financial information attached to it, and they're going to be reviewing it and making any recommendations for council review and possible approval. So it's will come to council hopefully in April.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Charles. And Susie, I know you're still on the line, so if you want to talk with Ashley about your original question, go ahead and put your hand back up, and we can bring you back on here.
I can address some of the questions if you'd like.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, and here's Susie again too. So we will bring her on, and then you guys can chat.
Susie had asked about group gatherings and about the impacts to the community center. And group gatherings, according to the website that the county has shared at a call I was on yesterday for a blueprint for a safer economy, for gatherings, they're still saying max 3 households. So that was purple for outdoors, and then indoors through red through yellow, they're still saying max 3. So right now it's not looking good for gatherings. And there was also an email that Julie from the chamber had forwarded me with some dialogue with Matt Willis, and his response regarding community events was that he was confident that no large in-person gatherings will be possible through August, and that fall is optimistic. The variants and the pace of the vaccination rollout are the 2 important wild cards to consider. So that's
okay,
unfortunate, but
yeah. So and then we're looking towards the fall then before any of us can use the community center in any group way.
Most likely, even if we were to have classes or approved functions to operate, we have the capacities that are set. So for example, red was 10%, just like the fitness of capacities inside for those classrooms, and then 25% would be in the community center. So that would be a max of 43. But we've also discontinued our cleaning service or suspended it. So we won't have cleaning service until hopefully the beginning of April. So hang in there.
Okay, that's good. Well, it's just a general, I know we're going to talk to you more about women's club stuff privately, you know, but this is great to have a general thing going on there. Thank you. It's interesting.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
I muted myself. Sorry. Thank you, Susie, and thank you, Ashley. That was pretty impressive that you were on the phone and could still like hear and internalize Susie's question. Very good multitasking there. We don't have any other hands up right now, even though we've got a good number of folks on the line. So if anybody thinks of anything that you want to talk about, go ahead and put your hand up. I just saw in the Q&A we had an attendee asked, you know, whether there's any date yet for the town council to start having in-person meetings at, you know, this lower 25% capacity indoors. RJ, thanks for jumping on that and letting us know that a date hasn't been set yet. I was just wondering, for maybe this is a Rebecca question, have there been any internal discussions on what that might look like yet, or are we still kind of, you know, playing that one pretty cautiously?
Pretty cautiously. There haven't been very many discussions beyond what that might look like in the future in a few months when we can return, because we know we would want to keep a virtual aspect and allow people the opportunity to attend via Zoom or a live stream or something else, because this has proven to be a really popular alternative for a lot of people who don't have 3 hours to come sit in their council chambers that can still actively participate from their homes. So we want to keep that, but we have a very small council chambers. We can't even keep our council members distanced on the dais. So we have a lot of issues to work through first before we can address a return to in-person meetings. I don't know that any other councils in Marin have also addressed that, but I'll check in with my cohorts around the county and see if I can get a sense of what other cities are doing.
That's great. Thank you so much. All right, we are going to go to Lucinda next, and then Barbara, followed by Becky.
Hello, everyone. Thanks again for having the meeting. I just wanted to do a shout out to Ruben Martin and his folks for doing some clearing down Sausalito Street. And I mean, it is amazing how you got the cedar, or not the junipers, cut down on, I think it's about 420, because they were very resistant. So congratulations on that. And also the large eucalyptus trees that were cut down. We have to applaud the neighbor that did that at 417, because they cut down 12 eucalyptus trees. And it was a major, very interesting project, quite frankly. You could stand there and watch it for hours, but they really did a nice job. And it would be nice, I think, if we could put something in the newsletter or the Chronicles or something that says thank you for addressing that kind of a situation for our overall town safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucinda. Yeah, there was a project where we, Ms. Brown that lived over at the end of Sausalito approached us, and we ended up doing both a public-private partnership and to be able to remove the eucalyptus trees using 3 different funding mechanisms. One is Measure C, and the town's Measure F, and then through a CAL FIRE grant that we were able to acquire. So definitely it was, it improved the evacuation route coming out of the end of Sausalito. So thank you for mentioning that, Lucinda, much appreciated.
Great, thank you so much. Anything else, Lucinda?
That's it, thank you.
Alrighty, thank you very much. And thank you, Ruben, for the fantastic work. We're gonna go to Barbara next and then Becky.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, I just want to say I'm excited about the opening in the town council, and I'm also excited to hear Mayor Beckman talking about how we really need some female representation on the town council. So yes, kudos for that. I know you've gotten a few applications. I hope you've gotten some strong female candidates, and I am actively trying to recruit a younger female member of the community who would be perfect. But the problem is with the younger ones, with young kids, is the time commitment is the problem. So yeah, but there's almost never a good time to do such public service, but yeah, but we do need a woman in the council. So thanks. Yeah, and good luck with the process.
Thank you so much, Barbara. Really appreciate the recruitment efforts there. And I have run into that same issue myself. I think the last time we had seats up on the council, I was trying to get women to run, and I was approaching a lot of, I feel like we have a lot of just like powerhouse, brilliant moms in our community. And they were all just like, look, I do not have the time for this. So it's, it's sad, but we appreciate obviously all the other ways that a lot of these folks are getting involved in our community, including serving on boards and commissions and such. And we'll certainly, be excited if any throw their hat into the ring to join the council here. And thank you very much, Barbara. We're going to go to Becky next.
Okay, hi. Rebecca was raising her hand. You want to say something, Rebecca?
Oh, I'm sorry, Becca, didn't even see that.
No, I just wanted to segue into Mayor Beckman's statement that the boards and commissions window will open up March 1st as well for a 1-month-long application period for all of our various boards and commissions and committees around town. And if you're on the fence about putting in an application for the town council, please consider one of those openings. We have several, and we have several that have gone unfilled for a while too. So we're looking for volunteers.
Thank you.
Quick question. We were walking by and we saw surveyors out in front of the cinema the other day. So Adam, just wondering if there's anything new on someone buying the cinema.
No, see, this is a good opportunity where our community provides new information to town staff. So thank you for that. No, I wasn't aware that there was activity out there. So that is of interest. But personally, no, we haven't heard anything on our end about a potential new buyer or new development out there. So we will keep our ears peeled though for any activity. And I know that's obviously a very prominent and well-known site in town that's been sort of empty for a long time, or at least potential new development for a while here. And then obviously now that the cinema is closed, I think as of maybe, over the last year, I think we will obviously report on that as soon as we hear anything. But thanks for bringing that to my attention.
Thanks. That's all.
Great. Thank you, Becky. You know, something that I thought was odd, I was walking down Tamil Vista past the cinema, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and there was a very strong popcorn aroma. So I don't know what that was all about, but
wow.
I don't know.
You may have been reminiscent about the good old days.
Maybe it was just all in my head, right?
Speaking on, I will say actually on the movie front, we are expecting that the Lark will again, even though it sounds like they're going to be able to hold indoor viewings of movies at a lower capacity. I guess it was sounded like 25%. We are expecting that they will set up the outdoor cinema again on the parking lot north of the village, which I know is a big hit for a lot of community members, both in Corte Madera and beyond. So we're looking forward to that, seeing that happen again.
Oh man, that would be great. That was those drive-ins were just a great idea, and I think really well loved in the community. They got great attendance, and I think a lot of people had a great time there. So
and they did say they want to serve popcorn this time around. So there you go.
Very nice.
Yeah,
excellent. Oh, we got go ahead, Mike, and then we'll go to Patty.
Yeah, I just thought Ashley pointed this out to me. There's a message on the question and answer, and it says, does Corte Madera work with Larkspur on enforcement of people on Redwood fields? Field use every weekend by maskless teams. It says lacrosse is always packed with maskless. Redwood butts up to Corte Madera homes and neighborhoods, and that teams spill out into after play. So we don't work specifically directly with Larkspur officials. Unfortunately, the county has had each jurisdiction enforce their own shelter-in-place issues. However, I just finished a meeting with the Larkspur's planning and building director today, talking about potentially joining forces with some level of code enforcement for the two communities, because we are, neighbors, and a lot of our laws and philosophies are very similar. But I think that the quick answer and the most immediate answer is I'll get a hold of Dan Schwartz, the city manager for the city of Larkspur, and let him know that this is an issue. He may already be aware of it. Central Marin Police, I think, has been the primary point of enforcement for Larkspur. I know that resources are very thin in Larkspur, and that was the reason for that discussion today. So I will follow up, and I appreciate the information. We do, we recognize that many of our residents and the children in our community go to Redwood High School, and I'm happy to help assist and potentially mitigate these concerns to our community.
I'd like to also add under the red tier what sports are approved for competition. So that is for outdoor moderate contact sports. We've got baseball, cheerleading, dodgeball, field hockey, gymnastics, kickball, lacrosse for girls and women, pickleball, doubles, and softball. And right now the guidance is quite vague, as to be expected. But my understanding via conversation with the county yesterday is that players are still encouraged to wear masks, but they are not going to be required during that approved competition level. So just to give the community a heads up, if you see women's lacrosse out on the fields without wearing masks as of tomorrow, that's actually approved.
And that goes for a lot of high school athletics. I know the CIF, it's been in the news almost every night about high school athletics opening. So it may prompt a lot of local attention to keep an eye on. So we will do that. And but we are excited about the opportunity to progress through the tiers.
That's great. Well, thank you guys for that answer, and thanks to the resident for asking that great question. We're gonna bring Patty on here next.
Hello. So first, shout out to the town for doing this new collaboration between the Central Marin NRGs, the rec department through Perry, and age-friendly to try to do some outreach for disaster preparedness for older residents. So I'm very thrilled that you're doing that. So good on you for that. And then following up what Ashley said about the probably autumn for use of the rec center and the grounds, is there any way we can do anything on the 4th of July virtually or distanced or something? Can we save the 4th of July?
Ashley, any thoughts there, or anybody else who might want to jump in?
It's a great question. We've had examples from some of our colleagues in Parks and Recreation in other cities, and they've done things such as shoebox floats for 4th of July. So I did share that idea with Julie. You know, it's going to be up to her what she wants to kind of organize as well, but there are discussions going on because we recognize how important 4th of July and our traditions are in the community. So we want to do our best.
What are shoebox floats?
So everyone would get a shoebox and you decorate it, you put pictures on it, and then somebody from a staff would drag them slowly across the screen and pause like you do at the Rose Bowl and zoom in on the pictures and say different things and then go forward again. It's pretty neat.
It's like a grade school diorama project.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's an idea.
Well, yeah, it is a really important tradition for centuries in Corte Madera. So I really hope we can salvage something.
I think that if we all do our part and continue to social distance and you know, encourage good behavior amongst each other in our communities, that and with the enhanced vaccination programs in place, we can all just be hopeful that we'll continue to progress, and we'll just keep an eye on, you know, the public health official about how things continue to progress. Ashley provided the update about August as a realistic time frame, so that's clearly after July 4th, but I know we missed it last year, and I certainly hope we don't miss it this year. It was really important to me. I've been in the community for over 20 years and worked sitting at the street corner directing traffic, and I really enjoyed the faces in the community smiling and everyone coming together as a community. And I really look forward to the time in which we're all able to do that. And so hopefully we're able to do that this year.
Well, maybe we'll have the 4th of July on the 4th of October.
We can think out of the box in a number of ways.
Be creative.
Be
creative. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Patty. Let's see. We don't have any other hands up right now. We'll just give folks a couple more minutes here. We usually wrap up at 5, but happy to let folks go early if everybody wants to get back to their Tuesday afternoons. I know our staff is always super busy. Any other last questions or comments from anybody on the line here? Go ahead and just throw your hand up. Yeah, Rebecca.
Thank you, Mayor Beckman. If I have a moment and some air, can we talk about some of those unfilled vacancies on our town's boards and commissions? Because
Please do.
We've been trying to fill the representative to the Marin County Commission on Aging. I think it's been vacant for maybe 2 years, maybe a little less. I've reached out to our usual suspects in terms of who might put their hand up for something like that, and everyone has just been overwhelmed. Like our grassroots core cadre of volunteers is just really tapped out with keeping their obligations to their communities. I actually have a meeting tomorrow with the commission director, to see how we can maybe do a different sort of outreach and appeal to different people that may be interested in this that haven't learned of the opportunity yet. So just to put that out to our core attendees, the Corte Madera representative to the Marin County Commission on Aging, the county really wants us to fill that seat. There's more information on our website under boards, commissions, and committees, and the active recruitment currently going on. And if you know of anybody, your friend, your neighbor, send them my way. We'd love to fill that vacancy.
Thank you, Rebecca. That is an important one, especially. And, you know, I do think we have a lot of older folks in our community, and it's really, I think, important that, you know, I think that's one of the great things about Corte Madera, in my opinion, is how we do put, you know, the kind of that population first. I think, especially with, you know, with outreach from both our town staff and, you know, the various fantastic just volunteer groups in our community, really reaching out to our older residents when the pandemic hit, making sure that nobody's falling into isolation and nobody's going without their needs met. You know, Patty knows firsthand about all the fantastic work that our community does. So that's a really important seat, and we would love to get somebody to volunteer for that. If
the other one is the Marin Sonoma Mosquito Vector Abatement District, which has been difficult to fill since that vacancy occurred because the meetings are monthly out in Patati. But right now they are meeting virtually. So if anybody is interested in giving that committee a try, it might be a good opportunity to sort of try that on for size while they are still meeting virtually.
Great point. Thank you for raising that. Susie's got her hand back up, so we will bring her back on.
So Rebecca, what's really involved in being on let's say the aging committee? I mean, is it one meeting a month? Is it a meeting and then reporting back to town council?
I believe it's one meeting a month, and then there is an annual report to the town council. But I do have that meeting tomorrow, and I can reach out to you after I have that meeting to get some more information.
I just think in general, people need to know a little bit more details about what these committees are before they even think about volunteering. You know, I mean, it kind of popped into my mind, and then I thought, well, I don't really know very much about it, and I already do too much. And I'm not speaking necessarily for myself, but for anybody needs to know more about what actually has to be done, the time and the hours and so forth. But
yeah, I have a bit of the job description in the recruitment notice, but sure. I don't know details about the actual time commitment.
That's I think important.
So I will be sure to ask that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Great point. Thank you, Susie. All right, guys, if there are no other questions or comments from the public and no other updates from our fantastic staff, we can go ahead and let everybody go a few minutes early here. So I guess just wrap up. I'll just thank again our staff. I know you guys are super busy, so thanks for taking some time out of your day to be here with us. And thank you very much to all the residents on the line who called in, whether it was to share your questions or comments or just to listen. We really appreciate you participating. We've got a council meeting first Tuesday of next month coming up, and then we've got, as Adam said, there's an upcoming planning commission discussion about our multifamily residential design standards, and RJ mentioned a BPAC meeting. I believe that was on Thursday evening, and just a reminder that all this stuff is happening via Zoom right now, so you can tune in from the comfort of your own home, and we'd love to have you. So with that, I'll let everybody go. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll talk soon.